Our call to worship comes to us from Sister True Dedication of the Plum Village Monastery, and this was first published in Thich Nhat Hanh's book, Zen and the Art of Saving the Planet. We may feel immense pressure to save the planet in this lifetime, and we may be afraid that we can never do enough. The stark truth is that the planet doesn't need to be saved only once. It needs to be saved countless times for eons to come. It's impossible to save the planet once and for all, or on our own. That the planet can be here now is a miracle, born of countless favorable causes and conditions over billions of years. And the planet will continue to need countless favorable causes and conditions going forward. This realization is good news. We belong to a stream of life, and this moment is our turn, our time to do our part and to do whatever we can to pass on what we learn to future generations so that they can do theirs. It is good we gather, friends. It is good we gather together. It is good we gather together to raise up that which is worthy.
We have special chalice lighting words for this Earth Day service. I will speak them in English, then Melinda will speak them in Spanish. The words will be projected so that we can speak them in unison. We light this chalice for the earth, of which we all are a part. We pledge to care for what it needs and hold it in our heart.
Encendemos este cáliz por la tierra a la cual pertenecemos. Prometemos cuidarla y llevarla en el corazón.
Good morning. Welcome to each of you here in the sanctuary and to those of you joining us online. Today is April 27th, 2025, and we are celebrating Earth Day at this Sunday service of the First Unitarian Universalist Society of Burlington, Vermont, nestled between the Green and Adirondack Mountains and within a stone's throw of Lake Champlain. I'm Judy Brooke. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a member of the Worship Associate team. There are lots of moving parts to today's service. If you want to access an order of service, scan the QR code on the inside cover of the gray hymnal. There you can find the order of service, links to live stream, giving, as well as a button labeled New to Our Community. If you are new to our community and are feeling brave, would you please wave your hand or say hello so we could make a special hello to you? There. Yeah. Welcome. We have designated welcome ambassadors who are available to answer any questions you might have. Our welcome ambassadors today are Marilyn Brill, Susan Warner-Mills, and Betsy Thayer. Would you please stand and wave? There's two. Okay. Thank you. If you'd like us to connect with you, you can fill out the New to Our Community form on our website, or if you're here in person, there's a card in the pew. There it is. And you can fill that out and drop it in the offering when you come forward. Everyone is invited to join the coffee hour in the downstairs community room after the service. You can reach it by going straight down this hall to the stairs, or there's an elevator right here outside on the landing. It's a great time to meet old friends, make new ones, and talk about what you heard at the service today. From the Coffee House team, I have an announcement. Join us at our monthly First Friday open mic coffee house this Friday, May 2nd from 7 to 9. Sign up for the open mic starts at 6:30 p.m. Share a song or poem, come enjoy the fellowship and entertainment. All ages and talents are welcome. Bring families, bring friends. First-timers are especially welcome. This society is guided not by a creed, but by our commitment to each other and to shared values that include the respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. Love is at the center of it all. We welcome all who are welcoming. So friends, whatever it took for you to get here, wherever you've come from, wherever you are, home or here, whatever burdens and joys you're carrying, your whole self is welcome here. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning, friends. We're going to do something a little bit different this morning. Often, either we sing a hymn all together, or the choir comes up, or someone else comes up and we listen. But we could combine those two things, couldn't we? So, both of our choir pieces today have a part for congregational singing. And the choir is going to walk up while singing this first song, Living Planet. And your part starts with, "And we're living on a living planet." The words will be up there. We will sing the first verse in unison, so you'll get to hear the melody, and just keep singing the melody as you wish. Here we go. Surface
I'd like to invite children of all ages to come forward for our Time for All Ages, our Story for All Ages, Life by Cynthia Rylant. It's one of my favorite picture books. The pictures will be projected, but if you can come down here and keep me company, that would make me happy. Thank you. Good to see you. Hello, 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 hello. Now, I actually haven't practiced both looking at my script and showing the pictures, and Judy and I are doing this together. We'll see how it goes. But today is not Earth Day, but it's Earth Day Sunday, so we're kind of doing Earth Week, and I don't know, I think maybe we should do Earth Month or Earth Year, Earth all the time. One of the things that we arranged for this morning's service was so that you all, before you went to faith development, would be able to see the choir. You don't get to see the choir very often. So I thought that was a pretty gorgeous piece that they did. Wasn't that cool? Yeah, we're getting some yeses here. Okay, so part of the story involves growing, and I thought it would be good if we could come up with gestures with our hands or our bodies that mean growing. And they can be small gestures, like taking a finger and hiding it and having the finger come up like a little sprout. Can you do that? Just hide your finger with one hand and there it grows. Or maybe, okay. We have one like this where it's our whole hand that comes up. That's wonderful. That's for a flower. It means spring. So could it be also that growing happens in our whole bodies, arms up first? And maybe growing could also be like standing up. And I'm so glad to see people in the pews are also, so you get to choose. It could be small, it could be medium, it could be big, it could be bigger by standing up. So when we say grow in the story, I hope you'll choose to make a growing gesture. So I think we're ready, Judy.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay, so what I'm hearing is somebody has bananas on their shirt, and somebody else is like, they're in bits of 3, and you're like, oh, you could do 3 bananas growing. Like that? Excellent. Thank you for adding that.
This is a book called Life by Cynthia Rylant, illustrated by Brendan Wenzel. Epigraph: there is so much to love about life.
Life begins small. Even for elephants. Then it grows. Thank you.
Beneath the sun and the moon, life grows. Ask any animal on earth, what do you love about life?
What do you love about life? You get to see things that are really cool. Can you name one really cool thing you've seen recently? Candy. All right. I love life because of candy. That is excellent. Me too. What do you love about life? Yeah. Food. Is there specific food? Not really. Yeah. Food is a good thing. Yeah. Music. What other things about life do you love? Animals. How about you all in the pews? Anybody want to shout out what you love about life? Cats. Woodpeckers, snakes. Keep going, I can't always hear you. Family, water, friends. Children. School. Ghosts. Whoa, there's a lot in life to love. Let's find out what the animals say when they tell us what they love.
The hawk will say, sky. The camel will say, sand. The snake will say, grass. The turtle will remain quiet. It has seen much in its 100 years. But the turtle loves life. How could it not, with so much rain on its back?
Now, life is not always easy. There will probably be a stretch of wilderness now and then. But wilderness eventually ends. And there will always be a new road to take.
Remember this. In every corner of the world, there is something to love.
And something to protect.
And if one day it seems nothing beautiful will ever come your way again,
trust the rabbit in the field.
and the deer who crosses your path,
Trust the wolf.
and the wild geese who find their way home.
All these know something about life, that everything is changing,
And it's worth waking up in the morning to see what might happen.
because life begins small.
And grows.
Thank you so much for being a part of our story. I know, there were only 3 grows, but my guess is there are some people growing in this congregation, and that is doing the growing for us. All of us are growing our brains. Some of us are still growing our bodies, and it's time to sing you out to faith development.
Good morning. My name's Andrea Van Loo, and I'm a member of the Climate Justice team, and I'm happy to be here today. We begin by noting that we exist because of those who came before us, some still with us, and others who have become ancestors. The Abenaki people, past and present, Corazon Aquino, Audre Lorde, Howard Zinn, Bella Abzug, Ella Baker, Angela Davis, Bell Hooks, Saul Alinsky, Grace Lee Boggs, Wilma Mankiller, Robin Wall Kimmerer, Greta Thunberg, Naomi Klein, Bill McKibben, Rebecca Solnit, Daniel Hunter, Adrienne Marie Brown, Joanna Macy, and many others.
The following presentation is adapted from Despair is Not a Strategy, 15 Principles of Hope by Abby Brockman, written in March 2017 and still relevant today. Here are her words. If you're out there trying to change your neighborhood, community, city, country, or the world, then this is for you. In moments when everything seems hopeless, read this to get your hope on. Abby distilled some of her thoughts into 15 gems of wisdom, some of which we share with you today.
Hope can coexist with other feelings. Has this been true for you? Hope and grief, hope and fear, hope and disappointment, hope and sadness. Writer, historian, and activist Rebecca Solnit wrote in her book, Hope in the Dark, Untold Stories, Wild Possibilities. A gift for embracing paradox is not the least of the equipment an activist should have.
People have power, no matter how uncertain, impossible, or predetermined a situation may seem. Professor and activist Howard Zinn wrote, "The struggle for justice should never be abandoned because of the apparent overwhelming power of those who have guns and the money and who seem invincible in their determination to hold on to it. That apparent power has, again and again, proved vulnerable, excuse me, this is an important one too, have proved vulnerable to moral fervor. Determination, unity, organization, sacrifice, ingenuity, wit, courage, and patience."
There is a difference between our actions being worthless and our actions not accomplishing what we hoped they would. Our actions, no matter how small, register in two ways: externally in the social world and internally towards the cultivation of our character. Even when it seems that our actions haven't truly had the impact we had hoped for, our efforts were not wasted if they contribute to the growth, fortification, and improvement of our moral personhood.
We don't need to persuade our most ardent opponents for change to happen. Why is this important? Because it recalibrates our expectations. As activist and author Daniel Hunter explains, campaigns don't succeed by getting everyone to agree with us. In fact, in the most successful campaigns, the active opposition doesn't change their minds. Rather, support for their position is pulled away by shifting the passives and neutrals one step in our direction. So we don't need to convince everyone to become active allies to achieve our goals. Studies show that it may take only 3.5% of a population engaged in sustained nonviolent resistance to topple a brutal dictator.
Change is rarely straightforward. Change is certain, slow, incremental, and in a non-linear fashion. We may feel hopeless one day and experience an inexplicable breakthrough the next day. Ezra Levin of the Indivisible movement explains, "This is the long game. We are going to lose a lot. We are going to get good at losing. But while we are losing, something else is going to happen. We are going to keep raising our voices, and slowly people are going to start listening to us. It will happen over months where you just keep showing up regularly, and then we're going to start winning."
It's always too soon to go home and too soon to calculate effect. We can't calculate our impact based on our intentions. Great humility is required. Rebecca Solnit explains, "Nobody can know the full consequences of their actions, and history is full of small actions that changed the world in surprising ways."
Small actions matter. Most likely, we have all experienced a time when someone did something small for us, and it made a huge difference. Just because we can't do everything, and this can feel overwhelming, we should not diminish the importance of what we can do. No matter how small, we must remember that we are all a part of it.
So as I said, our second piece also has a part for you to sing. I actually have put the lyrics up for the whole song. So anybody who knows this song, which is a Leah Morris song that was commissioned specifically for UU Societies for Earth Day. So if anybody knows the song, feel free to sing any of the part of it that you want. But if it's new to you, the chorus, which goes, "We are part of it," repeats each time it happens. So you'll get to hear it once, and then if you want to join us, do it again. I'll give my hand, give you the signal, okay?
Now is the time in our service for our spiritual practices. There are several that we bring together, and the invitation is for you to opt into the ones that speak to you, that resonate with you. So whether that is part of the prayer, whether that is appreciatively listening to the music, taking part in our stone ritual, offering your practice of generosity, all of these are available to you. With that in mind, I invite you to a posture of dignity that finds the sweet spot between relaxation and alertness. I invite you to find your breath. It may not be deep, not all lungs go deep, but think of it as an anchor that you return to again and again. I invite you perhaps to place your feet on the floor, pushing the soles of your feet down, perhaps pressing your hands to your thighs, both friendly reminders that you are here now. Spirit of life and love, ground of all that is Gaia, living planet, may we settle into our connection with you. May we know you and take you as real. For the lives we have been given, we are forced to conform into something that requires us more often than we like to deny you, to contort you, to dismiss you, to ignore you. We lament that there is exhaustion, there is despair, there is deep loneliness, there is shame, there is betrayal. There are sorrows inescapable in this mortal life, some of which have just been named, and they bring us to our knees. And also, there is joy. There is the companionship of furry and feathered creatures. There are sunsets, the colors of which break open our hearts. There are moments when we are saved by each other, moments large and small. And truly, there are moments when we know we are home. There are moments, fleeting though they may be, when we catch the smallest glimpse of the holy. And with that in our heart and our mind, into this circle of care, this community of compassion, we hold those grieving the death of Pope Francis. And we give thanks for his imperfect voice in the world. And into this circle of care, this community of compassion, we continue to offer our prayers for one of us, a mother so worried about her daughter having surgery this week. Hold them both in your hearts. Into this circle of care, this community of compassion, we hold those in our congregation grieving friends and neighbors pressured to leave this country out of fear and threats. And into this circle of care, this community of compassion, we offer prayers and well wishes for one among us whose job was unexpectedly ended this week, leaving many overwhelming questions and feelings. We hold this person in our hearts. Into the circle of care, this community of gratitude, we give thanks for pets who companion us well, when they arrive newly in our lives, and when their lives end always too soon, and our hearts break at their absence. Into the circle of care, this community of compassion, we give thanks for those community groups and individuals who organize our community in ever-widening circles to show up, to declare not in our name when someone or too many someones are treated unjustly, are arrested and detained. And into this circle of care, this community of praise, we sing gratitude for the daffodils and the crocuses and the tulips and the dandelions, the asparagus, the garlic, and the rhubarb shouting their existence above ground. Into this circle of care, this community of joy, we share the excellent news this past Friday that Lamont successfully defended their PhD and is now a doctor of community psychology. Not only that, next year Lamont will be a Henderson Harris postdoctoral fellow here at UVM. Lamont and their partner James are thrilled. So are we. Let us spend the next few moments together in shared stillness, connecting to that which is in our hearts until the chime rings again. Amen.
As a justice-seeking spiritual community, our generosity practices includes sharing half of the offering each Sunday. Offerings this month will be shared with 350 Vermont, which is building a people-powered and people-led climate justice movement in Vermont for a just, thriving world. They are guided by the voices, experiences, and solutions of those most impacted by the global climate crisis. When the music plays in just a moment, we invite you to come forward to mark a joy, a sorrow, or gratitude in your life by moving a stone from one of the bowls onto the table. Creating a representation of our life at this moment in time. As you are moved, please come forward along the center side aisles and go back to your seat through the center aisle. If you care to make an offering at this time, there are baskets at the top of each aisle. Or you can make your offering online. If you were at home or here and want to remain seated, we invite you to lean into the music as an opportunity for stillness and centering as it makes sense to you. Please join me in the dedication of our offering. With gratitude, we dedicate these gifts in the service of our mission to inspire spiritual growth, care for each other and our community, seek truth, and act for justice.
One of the gems of wisdom that Abby Brockman notes, and as do many other sources of inspiration, is that small actions matter. And we hope that you feel inspired to take a small action as a result of being part of this service today. We invite you to visit with the climate justice team during coffee hour, and we have some suggestions or ideas for you if you need a little help along the way. And we also are going to be handing out none other than Vermont's famous Green Up bags, because this coming Saturday is Green Up Day here in Vermont. So if you'd like to get a Green Up bag, please visit us downstairs in the coffee hour. So now in this part of the service, we're going to hear from individuals who are going to share their small actions, and we are going to hear from representatives of 2 First UU teams and their efforts in response to the climate crisis.
Get out of this thing. Good morning. I'm Michael Oman, a member of the First UU Climate Justice Team. As UUs, I imagine we don't need to be converted to an acceptance of our climate crisis, nor to the importance of addressing it. On the last Sunday in September last fall, about 50 members of our congregation joined with about 350 other UU congregations nationwide and beyond for a UU-sponsored climate revival. This proceeding took a deep dive into what a world would look like in which we were all part of a thriving and we were all thriving and living harmoniously with ourselves and the natural world. And we dove into how we might get there. Over the course of the weekend, we drew annotated pictures of our visions of such a world. We mapped the impediments and responses to achieving it, and we explored our possible contributions to it. When we began to tally up the results, what rose to the top was the value of our community to support us and our neighbors in furthering a rich, rewarding environmental lifestyle, a community that is made up of the beings, and Reverend Karen's vision for us that she shared on March 2nd, and a focus of our buildings and carbon footprint here. Perhaps serendipitously, the weekend was set against a backdrop of live music, courtesy of our own Friday night coffee house, which is coming right up, and rich interpersonal interactions. Saturday's session culminated in a climate-friendly potluck in which some of the food was prepared in a class on vegan cooking led by one of our own First UU families and participants in faith development. Our Sunday service keynoted our weekend of engagement. So since that time, the climate justice team has been focusing on working on ways to make the visions of the revival a reality. We've drafted a detailed report of the entire weekend with links to many of the resources, readings, and music, and compiled a synopsis of a number of climate justice actions. We hope to have this posted on our First UU website soon. We have put up a bulletin board in the community room that elaborates many of the explorations of the revival. We invite you to come and check it out. We created a Climate Justice Actions handout. Printed copies are available at the bulletin board, and we hope to have it on the website as well. Based on the revival, the Climate Justice Team's vision for the near future is to engage as much of the congregation in the task of community building for harmony in both our natural and human world as we can. As you might not be surprised to hear, we didn't finish this prescription. In fact, we've barely started. We welcome your involvement in the upcoming meetings to chart our course for further climate justice activism. Our next scheduled meeting will be here in the Meeting House on May 18th after the service. We hope you can join us and join in this action. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lisa Lax. I've been involved with the climate justice team here for a number of years. So for a long time, I've been distressed and alarmed by the impact of human-caused climate change. A major focus for me, like it has been for many of you, has been to do whatever I personally can to minimize my footprint on our environment and to inspire others. This has involved multiple intentional acts and decisions in my life regarding diet, travel, how I heat my home. Recently, this has not felt like enough, so I decided to become more involved in local politics. This winter, I worked on a city councilor race in which the continued operation of the McNeil plant, one of the biggest polluters and contributors of atmospheric carbon in Vermont, was and still is an issue. I also joined 350.org Vermont and am part of a work group to advocate the phased out closure of the McNeil plant. My small act.
My actions to reduce, My actions to reduce climate change happen mainly through my advocacy work with Third Act, a powerful elder-led movement for climate action. Bill McKibben, founder of Third Act and an inspiration to me, was my neighbor when I lived in Ripton many years ago. Most recently, I've sent letters to my representatives in Washington to not let big oil off the hook for climate damages, and to oppose the SAVE Act voter suppression bill. Also, I have written a letter to Chase Bank to let them know that I'm unhappy with their policies that support the fossil fuel industry and have canceled my credit card. I don't support big businesses like Costco because of its affiliation with Citibank, one of the dirtiest banks on the planet. I am aware of the climate policies of all the places with which I do business. On the home front, we have switched to using a heat pump that significantly reduces greenhouse gas emissions. We are contemplating other ways in which we can support climate change in our condo and within our homeowners association.
Greetings. I'm Essie Howe, and I came to the climate justice team with the desire to pursue with others the topic of natural burials, because it seems that in all the ways that we seek to approach climate resiliency, end-of-life practices are often overlooked. Neil deGrasse Tyson speaks for me when he says, and I quote, "I would request that my body in death be buried, not cremated, so the energy content contained within it gets returned to the earth," unquote. We have come to understand that current conventional practices take a heavy toll on the environment, while a simple body-to-earth burial sequesters carbon and enhances soil and microbial communities, which in turn support native plantings, conserving and restoring land. But most importantly, natural burial provides a place where we create family and community around the lives of those who wish to leave the planet in better shape than they found it. I'm excited to remind you that this afternoon at 1 o'clock, here in the sanctuary, there will be a special presentation on natural burial by native Vermonter, fellow UU, and nationally renowned advocate for natural burial, Lee Webster. She's the director of Vermont Funeral Resources, the co-founder of the Conservation Burial Alliance, and the former president of the National Green Burial Council. Lee will explain why this key segment of the climate resiliency movement is crucial to our overall success in reversing climate trends, how we can create green burial grounds in our own communities, and will use her expertise to answer all of your questions. I hope you will join us.
Hi, I'm Chip Patello, he, him.
And I'm Bruce Douglas.
And we're here as members of the Climate Crisis Response Team. John Lincoln, Brian Haas, and Mike Pelletier are current members. We help the congregation live our values, our mission, and our visionary ends by making steady progress to characterize the building's energy use and to identify where we have the most energy efficiencies and where we have energy losses. We talk about climate change, but we all know that it's not just change, it's already a crisis, which we see the Earth's acute symptoms, the abundance of extreme weather events along with chronic symptoms, warming in some areas, extreme cold in others, the flooding, the extreme snow events, and also drought. We cannot stop the climate crisis in its tracks, but we can help slow the changes, and we can take steps to reduce our share of fossil fuels that we burn here.
My wife Lynn and I attend Sunday services religiously, but since the onset of the pandemic, we have been attending remotely. As Michael mentioned during a service in March, my ears perked up when Reverend Karen was talking about our society's response to climate change to be about, quote, beings, not just buildings, unquote. That caught my attention because our buildings, especially our meeting house, is a vessel for the society's mission. Our building exists to serve beings, just like love is inseparable from our shared values. Our building is inseparable from the beings it serves. Our building is important to facilitate society and community interactions, community building and activities and spiritual events. These activities are important, occurring both inside and outside of our meeting house and extend far beyond our campus.
Our goal is to fully ventilate our building to new standards that would bring fresh air into our sanctuary and condition it in our offices and meeting rooms at 7 times current levels, and to provide fresh air so that we can all breathe easier. We want to increase the comfort of people in the building by insulating it beyond current energy standards. Another eventual objective is to add air conditioning so that we will be more comfortable in the increasing number of warmer days and also be able to rent the building for more events. In short, we're working to decreasing our meeting house's carbon footprint and making it more comfortable.
With the board's approval, the Climate Crisis Response Team hired a local energy consultant, CX Associates, who analyzed and documented our building's energy consumption and exterior enclosures, basically the walls and roofs. They have also facilitated a conversation last year with members of the Society's board, various committees, the Climate Crisis Response Team, and others. The outcome of that meeting was wide-ranging, including how to make the building more accessible, have even more climate control, such as heating, ventilating, and cooling, be a safe refuge for the community, and be more comfortable for use by the society and outside groups all year round.
To move forward with decreasing the carbon footprint of the meeting house, there are first steps, then later steps that we need to take. First, we need to better seal and insulate the meeting house building to decrease the building's heat losses. Working with our consultant, we've identified immediate next steps to do this. Sealing the attic from air leaks, replacing the insulation, adding more, and finally, improving mechanical ventilation within the meeting house. That's the current focus. The Climate Crisis Response Team is securing bids or estimates from contractors on these separate tasks, and we're seeking grants.
The grants we are currently planning on applying for are with the Vermont Arts Council Cultural Facilities Grant and the Vermont Interfaith Power and Lights Energy Efficiency Grant. If the stars line up and we get both grants, we hope to use each to serve as the required match for the other grant.
To recap, our focus is to make the buildings more comfortable for beings within the building while decreasing our contribution to climate change. Our efforts help the congregation live into our visionary ends, as well as our Unitarian Universalist values. We welcome anyone who would like to participate in the actions of the Climate Crisis Response Team. We joke that we're technically minded folks who could use some help to communicate our vision and our progress to the congregation. We have remote monthly meetings the first Tuesday of every month. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think they did a really good job of communicating their vision and their work just now. Woohoo! Thank you to all the individuals and the two teams who have been sharing their vision in order to inspire us. We know that we as individuals, even we as a congregation, cannot do everything, but neither can we do nothing. We cannot be everywhere, but we can be local. We can be here. We can be home. These actions and many more at our fingertips, these actions and many more, like love at the center, are inseparable from our responses and our resistances to the authoritarian regime in power in this country, in power in so many countries. Right? These actions and many more are all in service to our blue boat home.
Oh.
Please join me as we say our closing words and extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with the world until we are together again.
Just a round of applause for the climate justice team and Andrea at the head. And I want to invite, we didn't plan this, but anybody who had a speaking part up here, will you please, you know how we have this receiving line up here? Will you be the ones who stand up here? That would be great. So, friends, may you know the blessing you already are, and may you sense the blessing you yet can be. May we all go out and be a blessing in the world.